Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to revisit the elbow drive and how important it is in being able to generate a lot of force when it comes to throwing the ball with more velocity, more power, and we'll start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab. Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become. All right, and I say we're going to revisit elbow drive just because we've talked about it in the past, and as time has gone on, as I feel like probably everybody feels, right, you get better at what it is that we're doing, get better at being able to explain it and being able to break it all down, and the more we've been able to give a more clear understanding about what to do with the wrist, it gives us also a better understanding of how the elbow and being able to drive the elbow is a big way of being able to get the correct wrist position, right? So what I see a lot of times is that when guys end up going and allowing this to happen with that hand, right, or that finger where we're allowing our too much bend in our wrist, right? So we're here, we're going for whatever reason, we go back and we allow that extension within the wrist instead of staying neutral within the wrist. We've talked about that in the past, right? We also see a kind of stopping of the elbow and kind of releasing the ball out here, okay? And so what we want to be able to do is you want to be able to think about getting your elbow as close to, or your bicep as close to your ear as possible as you're going through the throw, okay? And so in order to do that, we have to be very, one, we have to keep a neutral wrist, right? So we can't be bending here, because when we bend, then that elbow drops, right? And then we end up kind of allowing the ball to get away, or that wrist ends up being not in a neutral position. So we want to be able to maintain a neutral wrist and be able to, from that position, then get our elbow up and through. So the better position we could be in the wrist, then the more consistent elbow drive we're going to have. So as soon as you and you can feel it too, if you go through and you feel yourself go here, you also feel your elbow kind of stop and your inability to be able to continue to drive up. Like it feels weird when I go like this to be able to try to lift my elbow up, right? Like kind of hurts. Okay, and so what we have to be able to do is we have to be able to maintain the wrist, a neutral wrist, so then as we come up, we can then continue to get our elbow coming all the way through with the throw. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple times here. So I'm just going to go here, and what I like to do with this drill, by the way, and I know it'd be better if you could see from the front. I just wanted to be able to, got a lot of stuff going on, right? I hope you guys like the whole backyard, by the way. Give you guys a better view of the whole, so I guess you guys don't really get to see that side of it too much, but a little bit longer view. And it's a freaking hot day out here in LA, by the way. But yeah, so we got a lot of stuff going on, so we're not going to do a bunch of different angles. But the main thing that we want to be able to do is get that full rotation, right? So you can see how I go from here to here. Okay, what I did there is I didn't shift my weight from back to forward. I just rotated. Okay, and when I rotate, I'm here. So this is a good drill that I tell guys all the time. So I just go here. I stepped and loaded. Right? So I'm past the loading part of my throw. I have 60% of my weight in my back leg, 40% of my weight in my front leg. My whole front foot's down on the ground. I'm in this position. My elbow wants to be basically right back behind my shoulder. Right? I could be a little bit back here, but I don't want to be a ton here. Okay, so I'm here, got good disassociation, and then from here, I want to be able to just drive my wrist through and my elbow through and be able to get up on top of the ball and finish the throw. So I'm here, boom. Okay, and just getting right up on top of the ball, right? That's going to be the main thing that we're going to be trying to focus on, right? Is getting here and then driving through with the throw. I got a friggin' giant dip in the net there, but typically that's where I want to be actually aiming is going to be to make it so the nose of the football ends up just flying straight. So if you watch, you slow down your ball and the football is kind of going upwards, right? This is going to be obviously a lot more dramatized than what you would see, but any type of upward movement that you see in the ball, you know that you're not getting good elbow drive, you know you're not getting good wrist flick. Okay, what you should actually be doing, I tell people in the warm-ups, what you should be seeing is actually like more of a downward and to the left action. Right? So what we want to be able to do, and when we go through the whole throw, I'll do that on this one, right? We want to be able to load in the back leg, right? Get our weight going in our back leg, get that load, get that rotation, get all the way, get so fast with the wrist and so much of a wrist flick that now the ball is actually almost tailing down to the left. That's when you know you're really getting the concept down, getting the concept of the elbow drive and getting the concept of where the wrist needs to be, because now, and it doesn't want to be like this, obviously, like we don't want it to be going down towards like your foot, right? We almost want it to be like opposite hip. So as a righty, I would want to be hitting somebody right in their like left hip. Okay, so it's coming across like that. All right, and so that is going to be, or sorry, their right hip. Right, when they're catching it, it's going to be their right hip. So I'm going down and to the left, it's going towards their right hip. All right, so we want to be able to get this around and get that nose of football so far around that we're here, right, that then we're coming down. What we typically see is the nose of the football is here, and so the balls are going up into, more towards the left upper ear. Okay, try to change that. Try to make it so you're getting down towards people's right hip. Obviously, this is all switched if you're a lefty, right? So you're trying to throw it at the guy's, lower right hip if you're a righty, lower left hip if you're a lefty. You're probably missing it high and to the right if you're a lefty. Okay, so I'm going to go through the load here, and I'm coming through and down, so we're getting that type of trajectory so then you can really feel what that concept feels like. All right, so hopefully that made a lot of sense to you guys here. There's a ton of great information there. Drive that elbow, get that wrist flick. I'm making these videos because I'm so passionate being able to help you guys out. We've seen some great improvement. I can't wait for us to get into like the 2023 version of our program, so then we can start to be able to see some of these success stories that we have going on right now and be able to see the development of what people are currently working through and being able to really show where their improvements have been made within their throwing mechanics. I mean, obviously we've had guys that have been in the program for a long time that are really being able to see some great results. But then also for me as a coach, as a teacher, I've never been better than I am today, right? I've never had a clearer concept. I've never had a better ability of being able to explain it and give you the drills and give you the information as I do today. So I want to be an example for you of understanding what consistency is like, right? That's why I post videos all the time. What the ability to teach and be a good leader, right? And show up for people, what that looks like. And most importantly, what does it look like to be able to get results for athletes and for you to be able to actually achieve those results, achieve your goals, have the discipline that you need in order to make your goals a reality, to be able to live in the life that you see for yourself, for you to be able to reach to your potential and really through your potential. Okay, and that doesn't come easy, right? It's not for everybody. What we do here is not for everybody. Point blank, it's 100% true, right? But what it is for the guys that have a elite potential inside of them and are falling short of what they can do. And they know that they could be better, right? And they know that it has something to do with their mechanics and are willing to put in the time, are willing to utilize a net, right? And being able to just throw into the net or throw into whatever, right? You could use your soccer nets. A lot of times at football fields, you guys have soccer nets. You can throw into those. You can throw into a field, right? You throw into whatever ends up being something that can stop. Throw into a fence, right? That's not what's important, right? That whatever ends up potentially holding you back, okay, is going to be the separator, right? Because there's a lot of guys on this program that are finding a way, and they're seeing the results, and they're their starting quarterback, and they're getting more looks, and they're having success at camps. And then there's a lot of guys that are finding excuses and reasons why they can't, right? And I feel bad for people that are in the program that do that, right? And I even feel worse for people that don't even sign up to be able to give them the chance to be able to make change. Okay, so I say all that just to say, if you need more help, throw 60. Throw 60, Quarterback University. Those are the two main things right now. Check them out. Link in the description down below. If you have any questions, call me, email me, reach out to me. Would be happy to be able to answer any of your questions. And as always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.